So let's have a look at learning objective number 2. Learning objective number 2 relates to GAAP, or generally accepted accounting principles. So basically, these are the principles that govern the nature of information you see in organizations' annual reports and financial statements. So for example, if we look at Coles' annual report here and we look on page 20 of their 2019 annual report, you'll see some highlights from their sales performance and their bottom line profit after tax. And these particular numbers and what is in these numbers is governed by generally accepted accounting principles. Right, so in Australia, the principles that we follow, and the generally accepted accounting principles that is, are governed and regulated by the Australian Accounting Standards Board. Now, the generally accepted accounting principles covers the standards, the rules, the principles, the procedures, etc. So there are specific rules that relate to the way things have to be calculated and determined, and we're going to cover some of these specific rules in the coming weeks of the subject. And there are certain things that provide guidance in terms of the nature of information that should be reported. So we looked at some of the qualitative characteristics in the workshop last week, and that's why I emphasized it was really important that you go through and you understand these qualitative characteristics, because they provide guidance to help make sure that financial statements, for example, those of Coles Group, are more informative, are useful, and are relevant for financial statements users' decision-making processes. Now, in Australia, we follow the International Financial Reporting Standards with some modification. The modification for the purpose of this subject is not critical. Basically, any of the financial statements of organizations in Australia, you can readily compare with other financial statements of countries around the world, because most countries around the world have a version of the International Financial Reporting Standards.